Hello, I'm Harold Metzel, founder of 10 Talent Stewardship, where we show you how to develop more robust stewardship. If your son asks for bread, would you give him a stone? Of course not. Yet parents often inflict serious damage on their children by giving. Attorney Perry Cochell relates a story of good intentions gone bad, a tale that is so common you can count on seeing it in your church. Listen to his story. Mom and Dad came into his office with an urgent request. The doctor had informed Dad he had just a few more years to live at best, and Dad wanted to get his estate in order. It was a substantial estate, over $12 million. Their two sons were financially independent. The three daughters, however, were each divorced and insolvent. So Mom and Dad had purchased a home for each of the daughters, paid for them in full. And as the sons were doing fine, they intended to leave the bulk of their estate to the girls and told all the kids about this. But they did want to set up a trust for each of the boys, and all of it would be distributed after both parents died. Well, with their plan now complete, Mom and Dad felt assured. Their children were going to be cared for. After just a few years, the attorney says, number one's son, an architect, comes into the attorney's office, says he needs advice. All three of his sisters, all three, had already blown through their inheritance. And not only that, but had mortgaged their homes to the hilt. Now the girls were demanding that he and his brother tap their own inheritance to help them. Well, they talked about it, and realizing their sisters could not handle money, the brothers said no. Turning them down, however, was causing hard feelings, splitting the family apart. So he was asking, what can we do? Well, that story is a common occurrence. Even with a well thought out estate plan, money, as you see, was distributed precisely as earmarked. But the parents' intent of helping their children ended up a heartbreaking failure. An attorney's job is to protect his or her client, to get things nailed down in writing. Helping to build strong families is not the job of an attorney, but it is the job of a pastor. And when it comes to helping children, even with money, the goal is to make them strong, healthy. Nevertheless, love for one's children can absolutely blind parents. Without any thought of planning, many parents say, oh, we're just going to leave everything to the kids when we die. Not realizing that that decision is often among the most destructive decision a parent can make. Sudden wealth almost always cripples people. Proverbs 20:21 tells us that an inheritance gained quickly at the beginning will not be blessed at the end. Of course, receiving the windfall, well, that's great. But what happens if the children haven't first learned the discipline of how to manage money? Most often, it will be lost, squandered, and gone. Now, there are lots of alternate ways to provide an inheritance, healthy, successful ways. And as a pastor, you may say, listen, I don't feel as if I'm equipped to address this topic. I mean, it's completely out of my bailiwick. And part of it may be. But you're the one who knows the Scripture, the teacher who can ferret out all that the Bible teaches about family, stewardship, and about making thoughtful decisions. And when that teaching, your teaching, requires guidance outside of your bailiwick, get help. Ask a spiritually mature professional advisor to partner with you. You teach on the spiritual and family health issues. Let him or her address the best practical ways to achieve the family's objectives. It's all a matter of stewardship, learning how to best handle what God has given. So don't put it off. If you don't arrange for that teaching, who will? So talk to a financial advisor in your church. Get their ideas, and then together come up with a plan. If you do, both the parents and those who inherit will thank you for it.